Okay, we're ready to go. To make a motion to open the May 18th, 2023 New Paltz Town Board meeting.
Second.
All in favor? And I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on the Town of New Paltz, Town of New Paltz decided local law to repeal section 140-17 accessory apartments of Article 3 of Chapter 140 zoning of the Code of the Town of New Paltz and to replace it with a new section 140-17 accessory dwelling units.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with each other.
I'd like to open the public hearing. If people have any comments for the accessory dwelling unit law, they could step up and make their comments, or if you're online, please raise your hand. No, if there are no comments, we'll just leave the public hearing open and we'll ask again at the end of the meeting, but we're probably just going to leave it open for a little while because we need to send this to the county and the town planning board for their comments. And so we'll just leave it open, and then when we get their comments back, we'll have more open time for the public to comment before we pass the law. And if we have to make any changes, we will do that. So with that, I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Announcements. If you were here earlier, there was a presentation on the town's community choice aggregation. We're moving forward with that again. About a week ago, we posted it on the website. People should be getting letters soon. But if you want more information, go to the town's website and you can find it's just go scroll down. So the town is working with Hudson Valley Community Power again, which provides eligible residents and small businesses access to a renewable energy supply at competitive rates. So based on the recommendations of the program managers, we have chosen as the standard default for residents to be 50% renewable. That means 50% of the energy is New York State renewable. The rest, some of it can be renewable, but it's from outside of the state, so we can only classify it as 50%. If you want to opt up to 100% renewable, you can do that. It costs a little more. If you want to opt for non-renewable, it will cost less. And if you want to opt out entirely and just go with Central Hudson or another firm, you can do that. So people may ask, why are we doing this again? With the last time we did this, we did the math. We saved the residents about $600,000. And it would have saved more if we hadn't gotten scammed by this other company that kind of walked away. But that's going to, we'll find out what happens in the court. And that's all I have for that. Any other announcements? So you should be receiving a letter. You have to opt, the program will start July 1st. You have to opt out before that. But if you have questions, go to the town's website and then all the information should be there. And with that, I want to open it up for public comment. For comments outside of the public hearing, we try to keep people's comments to 3 minutes. So people have a chance. So if you have a comment, if you want to come up, you can talk. If not, raise your hand. Yeah, come on. I'm going to turn this around to it's facing the wrong way.
Well, I can face that then.
You can just, you can sign up here and
Getting Karen.
You got a chair?
we don't have a chair. It's a 3-minute comment, so.
If you need a chair, I can get you one.
Something
Or-
happened in one of the rooms.
But the comment's not at the, not, you don't sit at the table for public comment. You can just stand up here or sit there if you'd like. You didn't hear me?
Oops, sorry,
No.
So
it just,
we don't have, people don't comment sitting at the table. Usually they stand or sit there.
I think
But
it's fine, you're good, yeah.
Okay. Ronald Turner. 21 Mulberry Street. We're living here without electricity. Involuntary conversion. It's a primary residence. That's a star application.
well, this is the village, correct?
Yeah. It's in the village, which is in the town.
We have no control over planning, zoning.
I
building
have 3
permits.
minutes. I'll get through.
I'm just so you know, I don't want you to waste your time.
My tax bill from the town says it's vacant. Can't fill out this without a primary residence.
Mhm. You should talk to the code officer to get a certificate of occupancy. I've heard of your whole case. You're
Yeah.
not living in a legal dwelling because you don't have a certificate of occupancy. Because it's not safe.
You've
So-
been there.
I've driven by it and I've talked to the code officers,
Which code officer?
the one for the village, because you live in the village.
Right, the one for the village is Ridgeview. We will provide specific home consultation. Our services include home inspectors, consistent, expediting, inclusive of filing applications, paperwork, and working with the
That's-
local.
that's a-
You're interrupting me, sir.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's fair because I know what you're gonna do because you did it to me when I talked to you. You're criticizing Corey and you have no right to do that.
Are you pointing at me? Don't point at
Sorry.
me.
I'll let you finish. You have another minute and 30 seconds.
In order for a person to have an accessory apartment, you have to sign a piece of paper with the state saying your relative lives there. That's how far the star exemption goes. I vote from this address. Are you saying that you are criminalizing an involuntary conversion in order to take my land? Take it up with the lawyer. You're not equipped. Who is the legal advisor for the Board of Assessment Review? As required by the state.
I think that's Joe Moriello.
You're gonna be there at the next meeting?
Usually he's at the meetings, but
Really?
like I
I've
said,
never seen him.
we don't control the accessory dwelling unit law in the village.
What's
They
the
have-
difference between an accessory? Well, they tell you, the town, how to classify. That's a matter of record. They tell you if they're changing a 220 to a 120, even though it's a 418. Do you know the lingo of the real property assessment code? You know what a 210 is? 215?
Nope. But thanks for your comment.
We'll be seeing each other again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other comments? If not, I would like to invite the police.
Oh, excuse me. While we're at it. State law says that the fire department social room should be open 24/7.
We don't
Village
control
or
the,
town.
I'm sorry,
There's no place in the town that's open 24/7.
we don't control the
For-
fire department.
You have
It's
a
run by the
community
village.
center. Should be open for the disabled and elderly during the heat and the cold.
Yeah, thank you.
Like to invite the chief up and Kaylin Marsh and the lieutenant Butler, if you want to come up.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hello, I'm for public comment to,
Sorry.
Yeah, please, Kitty, go ahead.
okay. You mentioned again that the documents for the new CCA were on the town website, and I don't know where to find them. So, you know, you have that bar on the left-hand side that goes all the way back to our comprehensive plan, has lots of places to look at the history of the town. Could you post that link there? Because I've written to them and didn't get a reply, and I'm trying to understand. I signed up with Nexamp the last time we did this, so I'm trying to understand how the new contract would interface with the solar provider that I signed up with last time. And so I wrote to them and asked them. Nexamp replied, but I haven't heard back from the new supplier whose name I can't recall at this time. So if you could just put those documents with contact for the supplier somewhere prominent on the website, that would be great.
Sure.
And
It'll show-
also,
Pull
thanks.
down, it's there. With all the.
Okay. I will look again, thanks. And also, will there be any cost to the town for the water contract with the county? Who will be paying for the town attorney? I hope it's the county, since this is a county-wide project. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And there is no one else here, so I'm assuming we have no more comments, so I apologize. Now I would like to invite the chief and
Thank you very much. So appreciate you doing this swearing in tonight here. We're very excited to be swearing in Kaylin Marsh as a full-time police officer finally. Kaylin has been with the department since 2020, June of 2020. She was sworn in as a part-time police officer and has been with us since. In the last year or so, she's been working as a full-time officer, just to fill in for some of the people that we've lost over the last year or so. But we're excited. Civil service results came out earlier in the year, and we now have we're coming to you and asking for her to be sworn in as a full-time police officer. So, thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept you as a full-time police officer. We're very excited.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Aye.
Come on, just do it.
You still want to do it after doing it since 2020? June of 2020?
Brave, so I think I'm locked in there.
Stand right here and just gonna follow along and just repeat after me and raise your hand. I
Kaylin Marsh,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and abide by the rules and regulations of the New Paltz Police Department
and abide by the rules and regulations of the New Paltz Police Department
without consideration to a person's race, age, color, sex,
without consideration to a person's race, age, color, sex,
gender identity, religious creed, sexual orientation,
gender identity, religious creed, sexual orientation,
national origin, ancestry, handicap, or disability,
national origin, ancestry, handicap, or disability,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of full-time police officer
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of full-time police officer
with fidelity and to the best of my ability.
with fidelity and to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I should just sign right here.
Well, you know, I'm not, and I have to work on my public speaking, but just a little bit more about Caitlin. In the short time she's been with us, she's a certified field training officer now. So she is training some of our newer officers. She's a certified child passenger safety technician. So she does the car seat installations for us. Just been a tremendous asset, and we're really excited that we can now bring her on as an official full-time officer. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Say welcome, but you're here.
Thank you.
The thing, our daughters just started driving. I know.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
And I would like to invite Janelle up. We have a chair for you now, so.
Where would
You can, well, you can sit here if you want. Good. We have the table, we'll see you
Sure.
presenting it, so.
All right. Good, thank you. So, I've been your climate smart coordinator now for, I don't even know exactly how long, but it's more than 5 years.
You got a bronze certification.
Yes,
Have
and,
a good night, guys.
and I am proud of the accomplishments, that the task force has led. The town of New Paltz, as you just referenced, got the bronze certification right at the peak of COVID in the beginning, March 2020. All the press that was planned kind of fell by the wayside. It's like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
So what we did actions actually exceeding the 120 point minimum that was required for certification. Hopefully, you know by now that I'm stepping down as a coordinator as of June 1st for a variety of reasons, both personal and programmatic. But I really want to see New Paltz continue down the path of climate smart communities and to take it to the next level, silver. I feel I need to begin by saying the obvious. We are approaching or may have already passed various tipping points in the climate system due to climate change, which will lead to significant and potentially irreversible changes in the Earth's climate. From our own vulnerability assessment here in New Paltz, we learned that by the end of this century, New Paltz could experience 7 times more extreme heat days. The number of extreme precipitation events are projected to nearly double by the year 2100. Within 20 years, New Paltz summer days will routinely begin to reach 100 degrees. New Paltz may experience 5 times the number of heat waves by the end of the century, and the number of extreme precipitation events could nearly double by 2100. I'm a cross-country skier, and sadly, New Paltz's freezing days could decrease by 50% by the end of the century. The impacts of climate change are far-reaching and affect a wide range of sectors, from public health to equity and even national security. As such, I would argue it is important to consider climate change in all decision-making processes to some extent, whether it be in policymaking, resource allocation, or individual behavior. Ignoring the impacts of climate change will lead to severe consequences for our future generations. So here's a sampling, and it's a sampling only of some of the things that we've done so far. Obviously, we have a task force, and I'm proud to say that even through the entire pandemic, we never, I don't think, missed a month. We planned a month away maybe, but other than that, people really hung in there and came and were involved. We did a greenhouse gas inventory, as you know, for the town of New Paltz, and that was also updated. We have an excellent natural resources inventory, and I hope that some of you are even using it as we move forward, because it really is exemplary. The flood mapping report created by Woodwell Research out of Woods Hole, Massachusetts. And I would point out that what's really cool about that is that we got that for free and it was worth a lot of money. They only picked 2 municipalities in the country to do that program. And it shows that they noticed us. So that was a good thing. Vulnerability assessment, which I just quoted some of the findings from. Cornell Cooperative Extension created our Climate Smart Resiliency Planning Tool. The Climate Smart Tiffin Project, initially we were going to call it the New Paltz Tiffin Project, but initially there was so much interest in reducing solid waste through this Tiffin project that we quickly changed it to the Climate Smart Tiffin Project. And I'm proud to say that it really has been emulated around the Hudson Valley. And in fact, I heard that Accra is going to take it big time, and they're working on a grant to purchase like 1,000 Tiffins, and it's all about reducing solid waste. The greenhouse gas inventory, the community greenhouse gas inventory was updated by Jolanda, as unfortunately our first one was not accepted by the review board when we went for our certification. A battery energy storage local law has been developed by our task force subcommittee, and I think is awaiting passage by your board after legal review. Jolanda has been an awesome lead on that project. Community outreach has been very successful with our monthly Climate Smart Solutions meetups and monthly Climate Smart Book Club. We have a monthly comprehensive 6-page New Paltz Climate Smart newsletter, and I think our mailing list is about 600 people, so quite a few see it. We also were involved with some pretty deep community engagement last year with sponsored with assistance from PACE. So while I think it was useful to kind of set the stage for my conversation with you tonight, by sort of telling you or reminding you of what we've done so far, I am more interested in sharing with you my suggestions to how to facilitate the transition to a new coordinator and to continue the path towards silver certification. Most importantly, the task force needs to be comprised of municipal employees and elected officials, as well as community volunteers. It's just not enough to simply have community volunteers. We've been blessed with an extremely dedicated group of volunteers, but they can't do it all. And in fact, we've lost some due to burnout or just disillusionment. I had to actually go into the portal today and review what was actually said, because I wanted to be accurate. The review board that determined our certification made some very specific comments to us about this issue. And this is a quote. The May 2019 list of members clearly shows representation from the broader community. Representation from the town government is less clear. Representation from both sectors that are officially appointed by the town and can be contacted directly through the town's website. Both, excuse me, I missed a sentence there. However, both Amanda Gatto and Janelle Piotr serve in roles that are officially appointed by the town and can be contacted directly through the town's website. Both are representing the town as part of the team that is implementing the 2016 Climate Smart Communities Grant. Janelle Piotr was appointed as the Joint Village Climate Smart Coordinator in 2018, and she serves on the town's Environmental Conservation Board, Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee. Amanda Gatto serves as on the Town Planning Board. Therefore, the review team is willing to approve this submission at this time. Now, sidebar note, Amanda is no longer on the planning board, and I'm no longer a voting member of the ENCB, just a liaison. So going back to the quote, in the future, to get points for this action, and this is a required priority action, you can't get the next level certification without it, include a description of at least one task force member that has an overt connection to the town government. This could include, but it's not limited to, an elected official, a staff member, or a paid contractor to the town government. Perhaps a board member can serve as a town board liaison, similar to members with that standing on the Joint Town Village Bicycle Pedestrian Committee, unquote. So I just wanted you to know that that is very clear what they're gonna be looking for.
We have a liaison,
Really what
right?
we need. We do, but honestly, I know it's probably hard for that person to attend because the meetings are in the evening and there just really hasn't been participation. The village has a liaison from the village board participating in the task force quite frequently. And I have to tell you, it's just really helpful because something comes up and she's like, just a minute, I'll check the minutes. I think we did that. I'm not sure. And bam, we've got the answer right then and there without having somebody at those task force meetings. Many times we're kind of spinning wheels because unfortunately, we often don't know what you guys have done, and conversely, you don't know what we're trying to work on. So it really slows the process down. It would be very helpful to have others from the board or staff rotate into the task force, perhaps, so that there is a town board member or a municipal employee at every meeting. I could see some advantages, for example, of having a particular department representation come in for a meeting, and we'll make sure that we focus the agenda on that meeting on that particular department or what they could do. That could be a good way to do it. The climate smart actions that are possible cross over to many departments. However, I don't actually think many municipal employees have any idea what the climate smart communities actions are, why they're important, or how they can lead them. I regret that I did not find a better vehicle to communicate this information. But this really should be a community effort rather than just the work of the task force. I'm not gonna, single out any one person, but I would recommend that as a board, you communicate to all the departments that this how the climate smart actions and how to document them should be known by all. In short, there needs to be investment that is deep and real. We're not just doing these actions to get points. That's not my motivation. We're trying to do our part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, save taxpayer dollars, and prepare for inevitable effects of the climate crisis in our community. Currently, we have one task force and one coordinator serving both the town and the village of New Paltz. And while honestly, I'd rather see the two municipalities merge, as long as they are separate entities as they are now, it means that we have to track all climate smart actions separately. And the portal entries are completely separate for both. And while we are short on volunteers in general to fill board positions and committee positions, I know they often are empty. It may be worth seeking two coordinators, one for the town and one for the village. I don't know, maybe one person could do it, but I just think maybe we have to have a little more creativity about how we make sure that both the town and the village are moving forward with the process. Certainly, I think that they could work together as a unifying task force. I wouldn't see a problem with that. Regular feedback to the task force and the new coordinator needs to occur, especially now with a new person coming on board. I have often felt, honestly, like sometimes I was working in a vacuum, not really sure if anyone was reading the newsletter or the task force and I, spent quite a bit of time writing it each month. We have carefully documented every task force meeting through minutes and agenda, but truthfully, I almost never hear from anybody. And it's like, does anybody know that we're working on this stuff? I've hosted, I had to count them up, 44 climate smart solution meetups. They're once a month. First Tuesday of the month on a wide variety of topics from electric vehicles to composting, cryptocurrency, heat pumps, plastics, green burials, and almost everything in between with a range of speakers and presenters. And we've had a really good following, but almost never is there a municipal employee or board member. Maybe it's because it's in the evening, but Part of the reason New York State chose to create the Climate Smart Communities program was to have municipalities lead the community by its example. Sometimes we are doing that, and the renovation of this building is a fantastic example. And the new contract for the CCA is another fantastic, that's one of my favorite ways to really make a global difference. If the first one failed through no fault of our own, and I'm happy to hear we have this new contract, but what was really kind of disconcerting, honestly, to some of the task force members was that nobody talked to us about the new contract, and our input would have been, hey, we were very involved with pushing it and encouraging it in the beginning, but now to find out that the default isn't 100% renewable, that's upsetting, because I'm not even sure you can get points for it without it being.
We went with their
100%.
recommendation.
Okay.
That was
I'm surprised that
was the recommendation, and we decided to go with the recommendation of the experts, not decide on our own.
Mhm.
So we asked them, should we go 100% renewable? And they said, we're recommending that the municipalities pick the middle one, because that's the safest one. So we relied on experts. I'm sorry if people aren't happy with that. Anyone who wants to can opt up or opt down.
Yeah, and
But I didn't feel it was right for us to opt people into the most expensive one.
do I understand correct that the village is it's
They didn't go with the recommendations of
okay,
the experts.
they went a different route. Okay, so where do we go from here? We have been actively attempting to find a new climate smart coordinator. And I'm pleased to announce tonight that I think we have found that person, and I am truly impressed. Having met with this person, I don't want to announce who that is because we've got a couple more steps to do, but I feel very fortunate that we have a person who's willing to take on the challenge. I met with this person for like an hour and a half, really shared the details of what the job entails, and not daunted. So that's huge. Yeah. So I intend to be a guide on the side, helping the new coordinator. I was asked, could I be on speed dial? I'm okay with that, but I am formally stepping down on June 1st. I will admit that the learning curve is steep, but mostly what the new coordinator needs to feel over time is that they are effective and accomplishing something real. In order for that to happen, the town needs to actively select next actions that will reduce greenhouse gas emissions that you can commit to. In short, you really need a climate action plan. We need 300 points to get to silver out of 1,117 points. So there's options you can pick. There are 116 actions with varying point levels, and with work and documentation, I really think it could be attained. Here are some actions that are not expensive, but have impact and could be put in place without extreme cost. For example, we have a repair cafe in New Paltz, but it's at a church. If we simply formally sponsored it and had it in a municipal building, such as a community center without a fee, we could then get points. They just added that action item to the rubric, so we could get points for that one. If it's formally, we can't be told, oh, you have to pay a fee to use the community center. Vehicle fleet inventory. It's frustrating that I haven't been able to accomplish that yet because it seems like an obvious one. So there kind of needs to be a directive that, you need to do this because that, to me, if you make change and you have no prior measurement, you don't know if you've made an impact. So I think just like the greenhouse gas inventory, we need to have a vehicle fleet inventory. Surprisingly, apparently there aren't recycling and composting bins in every municipal building. That seems like a pretty easy lift. So I'd say let's do it. An idling law might be something to consider. So, there's no points for this, but please see that the climate smart bronze plaque that we work so hard to obtain is publicly posted. I happened to go into the community center one day and there it is, just lying on its side in the pamphlet holder, was like anybody could walk off with it. And what does it say to the public about our commitment? and what we're proud of, I think it should be displayed. Then let's talk about actions that are expensive in the short term, but save money and definitely greenhouse gases in the long term. I know you know this. Move out of the temporary town hall. The greenhouse gas inventory clearly showed it to be the energy hog it is. Procurement of new vehicles.
We are using 100% green electricity, and it is an electric building.
Mhm. And yeah, that's good, but sometimes I want to take duct tape and wrap every seam where it's surely leaking. Procurement of new vehicles needs to be limited to electric or at least hybrids whenever possible. I know that recently a new police car was purchased that is neither. I know there were circumstances that they couldn't get a vehicle they needed to, but we need to really start planning well in advance so that we can get the kind of hybrids that we need when we need them. Solar panel placement on roofs of all feasible municipal buildings. That again, it's about showing the community that by example. Anything that we can do to reduce vehicle miles traveled. I will be very excited when we have the bike path, what's the proper, and especially if I see people starting to use it as transportation route. Rather, we have these wonderful rail trails for recreation, but I really want to see biking and walking be perceived as transportation in New Falls.
I think a lot of students do.
Yeah.
I see a lot of skateboards. I saw
Yeah.
an electric skateboard the other day.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and they even
great.
I see transportation on the rail trail for sure.
Good.
I can't wait for HWD. Well, I
Yes.
know that's gonna be huge.
Yes, I really look forward to that. So our climate vulnerabilities here in New Paltz are many, and we need to consider adaptations also, such as cooling centers. I heard them mentioned by the gentleman earlier tonight. Truly, we need to start planning now. Maybe evacuation routes for flooding, if the extreme heat events, it could be as soon as this summer. So we really need to
And
have.
we do open it up for cooling, but not all the time, but
And do people, and then really getting the word out so that people are aware of that.
But then we have to kick them out at 5 o'clock. We have no staff.
Yeah.
So
Problem to solve. Yeah,
you're, some ways you're creating a problem.
yeah, that's,
And we
that,
have,
yeah.
we have no sleeping facilities.
Yeah.
And, we could have, people can go during, the community center is open during the day, so they can go there if they want,
Mhm.
but we do not have staff to be there overnight.
Yeah, that sounds like a good problem to bring to the community and see what some solutions might be. So I've talked a lot tonight and I thank you for being patient while I, had a lot to cover, but I really want to hear your thoughts, your intentions, your input. What are your climate goals for the town of New Paltz?
we could think about it too, and
Yeah.
to have a more considered,
Yeah.
Response,
Mhm.
and even individually
Absolutely.
perhaps,
Yeah.
or.
Yes, send
You know,
send
Well, I mean, I
emails.
think the town, so I'll say, I think there are things that we're doing that people don't think that are connected to the climate, like
Mhm,
the preservation, community preservation plan,
mhm,
right? By preserving open spaces and keeping farms,
100%.
you're adding a lot of resiliency to the larger ecosystem. So we're not gonna have, species wiped out because we have more open space.
Mhm.
So that's not, and Millbrook Preserve, so it's not just, buying electric vehicles.
Agreed.
It's, we
Land
have
preservation
probably
is a huge
one of the
part.
strictest floodplain laws
Yeah.
in the county.
Mhm.
We got sued a bunch of times
And
for it, right?
Mhm.
But it's now been there in place for 7 years.
Yeah,
right? And that, you get it, like that's resiliency. right there.
absolutely.
And we're avoiding problems.
And that's why we really need keep somebody from the municipality always with us so that we can say, hey, did you catch what we're doing with land preservation?
The-
Let's find which.
The
I do read your
accessory,
newsletters.
the accessory, I think we're also doing things that aren't necessarily just points, right? So
And that's cool.
the accessory dwelling unit law,
Yeah.
that, that is gonna add a lot of housing without adding sprawl.
That's
And
excellent.
so we are doing a lot of things. We're not doing like the the easy things like, yeah, we're not putting solar panels on roofs, right?
We can encourage that with ADUs.
Right.
We can encourage.
We're not
But if someone wants
opposed.
to work directly with, someone, who's here that you see, that's a great way to consider going forward. Where it's one project that's specifically, that someone could wrap it, two people or whatever, that someone from the force and someone from the municipality could wrap their
But if
minds
the,
around and spend time doing, where I think that might produce some really good
I
results.
mean, if the task force has, out of those 1,000 points, if, this is where it would be helpful for us, like, oh, well, here are 5 things that the town can do that won't cost it anything that, are pretty easy. I can see that happening very, very easily.
Yeah.
It's not, the problem is like, we're pretty busy, like, we're way behind on a bunch of other things
Mhm.
that, and so if a different committee or a task force wants to kind of put proposals forward, we're happy to address them. I think this board is open to doing anything.
Yeah.
And
And
what
bring
I
them-
just wanted to quickly say too is that, and I'm leaving soon and you are as well too. And I heard, and I'm not criticizing this, like a fair amount of frustration in some of the process there and communicating these things. And I'll be candid. I think in these dynamics, I think it can come off as overly defensive and I don't mean to be that way. But I feel a little bit of an equal set of frustration in hearing those frustrations, because I
Okay.
feel like a lot of what you said, I think, and someone can correct me, are very overcomable items. And I think that what you've highlighted is, this isn't blaming anyone, a real communication gap that
Yeah.
I think that, to me, like the biggest thing is not the lack of priorities in the environmental initiatives that you discussed,
Mhm.
but the issue in how we've communicated that to us in a way where we then can take a concrete action thereafter. And so my big takeaway from,
Mhm.
which I really appreciate, both the work you've done and the way you outlined this,
Mhm.
is what I think makes sense going forward is to discuss the better communication channel to then lead to those direct actions moving forward. To Neil's point, like, I do think if you presented a list of like, here are some kind of low hanging fruit, for lack of a better term, like, I think we would act pretty quickly on those things. And I think and I'll put it on us, like, we lack that institution to be able to communicate that with you, to be able to set that process up. And so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what-
that to me is probably one of the biggest failings, and not on you. I'm not saying that I'm hearing in this that could lead to some of these actions. And I do think that's an important point I wanted
Well, for
to.
example, I mean,
raise.
what,
Yeah.
exactly what, if I can piggyback off
Yeah.
of that, first, thank you for that. Very, very complete, very well thought out. Really appreciate that. Springtown Road, for instance, flooding, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I happen to live there.
Right.
And creating a community meeting where somebody from the municipality, but also somebody maybe from the police department or from the fire department, people who can actually give advice and from Climate Smart can get together and talk about
Mhm.
how we can work in that area. It's only gonna get worse.
Mhm.
Do we have a game plan? How are you gonna get out? How do you help neighbors who are elderly? Or how do you help neighbors who have children? So I think if the task force came and said, hey, is there anybody here who wants to work on the flooding issue? I'd be like, yeah, that's something that, I mean, I'm personally affected by it, so I would say, yeah, I think I can like
Yeah.
gather my neighbors. And we can come up with something and we can go door to door and say, hey, we're trying to create a
Mhm.
program because this is what's gonna happen. And it's a very climate awareness kind of
Yeah.
program that we could have. So I do agree, I think a lot of times it isn't that you don't want to work on these projects because we think they're incredibly
Mhm.
effective for our town. But if we're presented with a nugget, say, hey, this is an idea. Who can take this over that can help? I think it's a little bit easier because you're much more willing to dive in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
guess
appreciate.
One of the things I want to say is, ideas are cheap. Right? For someone to say, oh, the town should do this, like, we all know the town should do that, right?
Yeah,
The
but
problem is
honeydew list.
getting it done.
The
Right.
follow through.
It's the follow
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
And
we're all very busy.
sometimes what will happen is, we'll either be asked to do something
Mhm.
by your board, or it's clear that it's an action that should be done. And then when we go to an individual in the municipality that can do that thing, it's like a vacuum, like
Mhm.
either their inbox is overwhelmed and there's no response back. Or we do the thing and then it's like, okay, what's happening with this now? So partly of what I'm reflecting to you is the experience of some of the task force members. It's like, well, what happened to XYZ?
Yeah.
You know? And I appreciate, for example, with the CCA, what you said that the experts, made a recommendation that you followed. But just perception is everything. And if there is a perception by the people that really push CCA in the first place, that they're valued and that they want to inform them why you're making the decision, that's huge. And it keeps people hooked in versus starting to feel like, well, they're not listening to us anyway, they're not even including us now, moving on. Yeah.
And I think that, and again, it's both ends. I think that goes back to more of the communication channel gap, which I think is hard for any institution, but I think you actually have also provided a really good roadmap with what you've just said to try to improve that. And I really appreciate that you brought that.
Thank you. And I know for all of us, a huge challenge is COVID. I mean, I would have been in here in person much more often. Sometimes I was, invisible to you because I'm watching the meeting from home on a Zoom.
Right.
It isn't as effective for communication and developing relationships. So hopefully moving forward with the new coordinator, I've really emphasized to the task force and to the coordinator, they don't need to replicate what we've done. Under new direction, it can go a new way and it may be better. And sometimes change kind of shakes things up enough to really break through some blocks, or you get used to a certain pattern that maybe wasn't even that helpful, but you were doing it, so you keep doing it. So for example, the Climate Smart Book Club and even the meetups, that's not very specific to getting points. We just got a lot of mileage on it, if you will, a lot of interest. And so we continue doing it, but that's not something the new coordinator may do at all. Likewise, the newsletter, we just thought it was nice to inform the public, but it doesn't have to be done. So I guess I have no problem with this completely changing like how it evolves. And I really hope that we can regrow the task force too. We have a lot of task force members that call themselves members at large, AKA never come to meetings. You can call on them to help on some issues, but we really do need the people to do the work too. So, yeah.
But we're looking forward to meeting the new.
Yes,
person.
yes.
So thank
I
you.
appreciate your
Yeah, appreciate.
finding a new
Very
person to
much so.
take.
Yes,
the-
I
That's the
really
hardest.
Meet that
Really
person
is.
when they
Yeah.
come on board.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Absolutely.
Well,
Want to thank you for all
Yes.
they've done. It's,
Thank you.
shocking how dedicated you are. I think maybe, like you have so much energy and so much, that you want to do all at once. It can maybe be overwhelming to figure out how to,
yeah,
we're not this,
Instead of doing
municipalities
one
aren't
at
the
a time.
fastest things in the world, and that we're all employees, right? We have our job and we have what we are doing
right.
for that. And, if we can take, the best way I think we could help is to take those individual, projects that we could help with, whatever we're dedicated to helping,
Mhm.
but I think if we're emphasizing, attendance at meetings, if you're saying that someone has to be at every meeting, including a village representative, are you saying,
Mhm.
in order? That can't be
To be a regular part of the task force in order to get,
well, we should
approval that we have.
to get the silver,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think honestly, I don't have a problem with that because I think it will be more workable. I mean, that requirement. I think that,
so there's a person from the village and that's not doing it, you're saying?
No.
no, that would for the
She was
village,
saying-
but for the town, we don't have the equivalent.
Mhm.
And it just would
Can
make.
someone
their-
from the ENCB join it?
If they came, yeah,
I mean, I get it. The problem is
but even.
we're liaisons for.
Actually, I said that, and now I have to rethink it, because the ENCB, though they're community members, they don't necessarily know any more in depth about what the municipality is in control of per se. So to some degree, they see things that come through the planning board, so
And I,
possibly.
There's,
and I
I
think
don't
that
think,
it's a good example too of, again, like how we can communicate this better. Like, I think that's an absolutely reasonable request, which you
Mhm.
made. And I think as a board, if we knew that the expectation was that, because we do have a number of different committees we're on, that
Right,
the expectation was the liaison that you needed would attend every single meeting. I think realistically, we would have amongst ourselves figured out who was able to do that and made that dynamic work.
or have a substitute or a
Exactly, and
schedule.
I'm saying that not to be defensive, I'm saying that more to show that I think there's a strong willingness amongst the board to make these items work. We just need to then have like these kind of conversations that we're
Yeah.
having right now, I think is
Yeah.
really important, and like,
Yeah.
that's a new piece of information that I think we learned that I think is completely reasonable that I would not have known before the meeting started.
And, with a new coordinator, maybe a whole new time will be
Mhm.
selected, maybe during the day
That
is
doesn't-
more functional. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it can be a new plan.
Let's, yeah, so I'm still a little perplexed. So are you saying that they say every meeting someone has to come to, or just?
I'm sure if a meeting was missed, but you have to show that it is
Yeah, the
truly
Right.
The commitment and
organically
the
a
benefit of it.
municipal
I get what you mean.
project. It's
Yep.
not just, otherwise it becomes very close to the Climate Action Coalition that we have in town, the 501c3, that's a bunch of activists doing cool things, but it's not municipally
Yeah,
run.
I get what you, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I 100% understand. what
Okay, any
Alright.
questions?
Thanks.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all your time tonight.
you're saying. No, thank you as well.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Isn't here.
What the- oh.
What kind of town hall is? You want to give this to your new coordinator.
What's that?
They have a question, or they want, invite me to.
Oh, great.
I'm glad to do it.
That's it. Great.
I'm the biggest polluter in the falls.
Yes, you are.
True.
I also know
And-
where
and-
every skeleton is buried, where
And
everything doesn't work.
some of the last vehicles that could ever be electric.
Yeah, we need the good folks at Caterpillar to start changing.
They're trying,
Yeah,
they're trying. They can make it
If
work.
a person has an old, I don't know, name a truck versus a newer one, is at least the fuel efficiency better, even if it's fossil fuels, or is there not that much difference between old vehicles and new vehicles?
Believe it or not, it's the older stuff is more reliable.
Mhm.
You can't get into a vehicle now, like if I ordered a new dump truck, I wouldn't expect it for 2 to 3 years. If I ordered it, if I was able to order it.
Wow.
It's hard to, the electronics, they say. 2011 internationals, I have 3 of them. They were when DEF took over to help the emissions. To make the trucks work. They've been modified so much that I get a 1.5 miles per gallon.
Oh, my God.
So the trucks it's perception. And
Yeah,
I met with the engineers, because I own my own truck.
uh-huh.
And they actually had a problem when I had an engineer come up from Chicago, from International, and he flat out told me. We couldn't make it work, we just put them out there, we're fixing them as we go,
Wow.
because. Again, it's perception. The
Yeah.
truck burns cleaner. Supposedly,
yeah.
it went from a 500,000-mile lifespan. To 200,000-mile lifespan. The electronics don't work. And the particulate matter that you have to take out of DEF filters, that we never had to do before. What do you do with that? That goes in the garbage. So you saved out of the stack. You took your reliability out of the truck where you could keep a truck 20 years.
Mhm.
Now you can barely keep it 10.
Wow.
You're throwing extra stuff in the garbage versus a truck that burned a little dirtier, granted. But you'd have that truck for 20, you could drive it for 20, 30 years.
Greenhouse gases were that
So-
permeate that vehicle.
Well, that's exactly, so instead of having that one vehicle, now you're
Yeah.
creating 4,
Right.
so,
Does your department cover lawn mowing too?
yes.
So I'm thinking that maybe one way is we could start to mow less. Have, over, I don't know, just.
Then you run into the problem of like sports.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, some
Seven
places,
ball fields.
some places you have to, and that would be true. And thank God there
We do
are
some-
mowing fields and not all artificial turf.
Yeah, we do some less, but,
Yeah, well, I will definitely
not
pass on your part to.
yeah,
the-
I'm like,
I just looked at my idea, I'm not sure if they quite caught it, but even to have municipal participation by department heads like yourself. To come to a meeting and we'll say, okay, this month.
I'd like to
we're
see
gonna
it
focus-"
rotate through the department,
Exactly.
but contact the
Yeah.
department, it's. New Paltz says is zero communication. Zero. So you have to contact the department heads direct, that's why
Yeah.
I do my part. That's
I
right.
appreciate
It's
that,
not worth, hey, can you tell Chris that,
exactly,
because Chris is never gonna get that.
yeah, right,
I got some
And
great ideas for, which would probably go through your climate smart.
okay.
Love to build a welcome center. If
Oh,
I had all the money, in the
yeah.
world, I would build a welcome center, come up the thruway where they just. took
Well,
down-
I got, what's the name of that old restaurant that's been sitting there defunct for years?
That's the one.
Oh,
That's the center.
Me too, I thought, put it, you can put in, charging station.
Well, that was my, you could do it. You could build a welcome center. You could have. And I just went to one at Cape Cod, it was great. They had all the charging stations. And you want to keep the traffic out of New Paltz.
Now,
Grab them as they come off the thruway.
Right.
Park them there, send to a farm market.
Guys.
Bicycle down,
Exactly.
or you have an electric shuttle bus. that
Right.
brings it back and forth.
I have definitely.
maybe you
thought
should be a
that.
good coordinator.
Yeah, you wanna?
And it just. The thought. When they pick something to do. You can't give. Our board, our town, and things, 10 ideas. Pick your most important. Like solar panel and run with it.
And run with it, yeah.
Then you get, when that gets done,
Then,
start
yeah,
to
I
do.
think that's partly, one of the things I did wrong, is we were just going to,
You
and.
got you excited.
It's so, well, it's also, it's so much, it is overwhelming. I mean, you think about how many actions there are, 118 actions, and I don't know which are feasible, because I'm not on the inside, so you kind of.
That's why you wanna have someone be.
Basically, everything.
All
Everything's
everything's
feasible, it all comes down to money, but
Yeah.
you pick one thing.
Mhm.
We want to build a ball field, I pick the one thing and then do anything else, I finish that, then we move on.
Yeah,
If it was
Yeah.
three things.
that's a good advice for the new coordinator, in fact, I already said that, because I can see some of the error of my ways.
And it's just working with the board, I've tried to do too many things at once, everyone's going too many different ways, the
Right,
focus.
yeah. Yeah, that's one of the challenges in small towns
Pick,
that,
pick, and
there's,
then finally either, all right, pick it up, or we're gonna do it, and then
yeah,
move on to the next pick.
yeah, good advice,
That's government at its best.
yes, indeed.
I'd be happy to go to one, I mean, I like
Excellent.
to do different things,
Yeah, super.
and I don't sleep, so.
Yeah,
It could be nice.
Yeah, you wanna get a hold of it, call it like 7 in the morning,
I've already been up for 2 hours.
and
I-
if you wait till 7:30, you might be gone on the road for the rest of the day.
Or my third cup of coffee, like,
I used to go to bed very late and sleep in. Now, my body clock has decided I also get up early. So I go to bed super late and my body clock wakes me up. I'm like, oh, really?
go to bed at
Okay.
11, I wake up at 4, I wake up blue.
Yeah. Not very-
Yeah, well, I told this guy, I had to set my alarm special. It's usually before coffee.
Yeah. My problem is I can't make coffee until I've had my first cup of coffee. so
Yeah.
I stir it up coffee.
Yeah.
I've got to drive to Stewart's to get my cup of coffee.
Ah, there you go. All right, you guys, take
All right,
care.
take care.
Good night.
As recently as 2 months ago, I went to Stewart's to get gas and drove through the light and went to Stewart's. The old Stewart's, and then I turned around and come back, and that's still hardwired.
Hardwired to go
Stewart's
Stewart's.
is.
It's amazing how we go to the same spot. I'm
Yeah.
Going to the police station. I gotta go to PD, I've driven right by this place, and it's Where you going?
I believe it. You were in Cape Cod this past weekend? Or was-
Couple weeks ago.
Oh, that was in Cape Cod last
Actually,
weekend.
Easter, I went over Easter,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
just a quick weekend trip to, I like Cape Cod.
Yeah, I was visiting family in Gloucester and Rockport, we got together.
Yeah, we went from one end to the other, just found it, went to the pirate museum, found different stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to Mystic. I spent 2 days up there, just like the aquarium and walk around,
Uh-huh.
just little weekend things to get my head out of New Boston.
Sure, you need to get perspective. You need to miss the place.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Well, I like
real-
seeing different stuff, like, like, really want a visitor center down there. Seeing the one up in Cape Cod, it was great, you could have local history in the place. You could
Yeah.
have your farm market there,
Uh-huh.
right off the thruway, so you're gonna get traffic.
There are limits to New England Yankee stuff, though. Like my sister lives in it. And this year at their town meeting, they had a motion to make all their fireworks at their annual fireworks show eco-friendly, biodegradable fireworks. Everyone was down with it, they voted for it, they approved it. These do not exist. They didn't check.
They didn't check first.
Because for these town meetings, you're not gonna have a chance, because you do it right there.
Well, the idea sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody
That's the
knows.
limit of these town meetings, like, oh yeah, I guess you can't actually prepare.
It's happened here a few times.
Yeah. When they had no excuse.
We're
yeah.
gonna do this, we did that already years ago,
Uh,
try a new one.
Institutional memory and also how much, so you've been here how long? Oh,
Well, yeah, 12 years in this position,
but a heck of a lot longer.
yeah,
overall.
since '83, working
Yeah,
on and off with the town,
Uh-huh.
so a long time.
Yeah, you really do know where the bodies are buried. and
Yeah,
What's been
unfortunately.
tried and what's worked and what hasn't.
A lot of struggle. A lot of work.
Very
a lot of
trying.
hassle, yeah. Sometimes you just, wow, you can't do this again. Or let's do this again, that worked great. you know?
Yeah. No, I like the idea of instead of saying we gotta mow the sports fields, we come up with like a new form of soccer that really works on your calves.
Tall grass.
In tall grass, tall grass
All
soccer.
of a sudden you see the ball coming at you. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, how do you, I get it, you wanna cut stuff back, but
Yeah,
man, what do you? It's changing people's perception too.
oh yeah, people freak out.
Yeah, I don't want,
Don't
what do you mean? So many people say, oh, I gotta have it this way, but yet they're going home. When we put the new meters in,
Yeah.
oh, can't have that, the cellular signal is gonna fry my brain. And I'm arguing with this lady, I said, what's that? You carry a cell phone, right? She goes, yeah, you're putting more RF into your body than that cellular point will ever do it. You're
Uh-huh.
wearing it on your head.
Yeah,
Oh my, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
except This battery you charge, how long? Well, twice a day. The other one lasts 10 years.
and
Now, you're not putting a lot and they couldn't
Yeah.
get that.
I understand that was a lot worse in Woodstock, there were some.
Yeah, that is.
Dog-eared folks who. would
That's
show up
because the
and-
original electric meters that they're putting in would fry a chicken.
Wow.
Because it turns your whole house into a radio
Oh.
instead of just a signal coming off the meter.
That seems, well, they just didn't have the technology. I don't-
Right, it was different, it was older technology. And that, there's a lot, RF is not good for you. That
Mhm.
didn't make a change.
Yeah. That works, that works.
Something will eventually happen, I would imagine.
Yeah, things usually do, either will become extinct or we'll figure out a way to solve all the problems. One or the other.
Every time we solve a problem, we come up with a new one, it seems.
Yeah.
But that's the equation.
Yeah,
If you did, you'd cease to exist. There's
yeah,
always gotta be a
you
challenge.
gotta keep changing.
Yeah, there always. I think of my mother, born 1923. And she's passed away now, she lived in 98, what she saw in 98 years, horse and buggy, to the moon, to cellular, just. She used to say that all the time, but I just can't. When I was a little girl, I couldn't fathom anything, but
Yeah.
getting on the horse, we went to town, she grew up down south. you know, having the farm, the steam engines and stuff to, you know, you get her in a car, what, that does what? You know, or you know, the GPS, the first GPS, that tells you where to go, you know,
Oh my gosh, that's changed my life.
and
They actually show up on time.
yeah, and there's satellites without getting lost, right?
Yeah. Which means they can track your every move.
And they do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was after this family get together, I was thinking about my goddaughter who was born in '99 and probably is gonna live in 3 centuries, very possible. Wild,
Yeah, imagine the changes.
Yeah.
In the first century. It's pretty cool when you think
it's
of it.
insane.
Not that I find myself missing the seventies a lot. It was easier, slower. Better. I think
I
it was
remember the
better.
clothes, I don't remember much else from the '70s, it wasn't really a person yet.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't either, but it was,
I only had my like first 10 years in the '70s.
I like the speed of it.
Yeah,
Late seventies, early eighties, I like the.
I remember very short shorts and very short tops. Very big roller skates. And
Roller rinks,
sideburns.
the music, yeah, wearing plaid.
Yeah,
I could, I don't miss wearing a plaid.
yeah, and having to do it with a straight face. Yeah, the suits that my siblings and I would wear to like Easter pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I was had a hand me down from my cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the picture. Well,
Yeah, I had a lot of cousins, unfortunately.
I had one, and unfortunately, we were about the same size, so, or I became his size, so. Even if I didn't, that's what you wore, hand me down.
That's how it was done.
You didn't get new clothes, very seldom when you got new clothes.
Maybe your mom would take you in a little bit, change the length of pants.
Yeah, sometimes.
You'll grow into it though.
But I don't think we ever got steady was newer shoes. We're
Yeah,
getting new shoes.
it's hard to, yeah, you go through shoes.
Yeah.
You Go through shoes.
But everything else, ties for church.
I still have the pair of dress shoes that I got. My mom said, all right, we're getting good dress shoes for this wedding.
I would say dingo boots that I had to have. I still have, I don't know if I've ever got my foot into them, I never get them out. My wife keeps looking, oh, those are wear. No, I want to keep those. Those were like my favorite thing to wear when I was younger.
Nice. Here we go.
One I know.
The truth will come out.
The carrier.
Oh,
We don't have, this is gonna be for one of the police officers.
Oh, you can give it to him.
You can just share it, pass it around. We can, yeah.
It's chocolate.
Well, I brought chocolates for the police officers, but if people want.
You trying to bribe a police officer?
Says the
I
report.
took-
Make a motion to come out of executive session.
Okay.
And motion to authorize the supervisor to contact the building department applicants and offer them positions.
Second,
The union rep. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the consent agenda, item 4A.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so motion to approve the below applicants for the 2023 Memorial Pool staff at their assigned rates for the pool season, May 21st, 2023 through September 10th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi, congratulations, Tyrese.
Yes, congratulations, Tyrese. I recognize Tyler's name.
Motion to authorize the hiring of Tyler Cregan at the union rate of MEO to the highway department for the start date of May 22nd, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to authorize pay Lou Strowski by voucher from the B Fund and Build a Village of New Paltz for half the cost for the season of watering flowers at a rate of $15 per hour with a 3-hour day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And, motion to vote, Ulster County. We got a request from Ulster County for the, they want to connect to to the water district.
Mhm.
And and we were gonna do the same thing when Turk was doing it. We have all the paperwork there already, the maps and everything else already drawn up. And so I sent the the county's request to Joe Moriello, and he's like, well, we could do it, you know, this way, and the county's like, well, we can do it this way, and so mostly are people in favor of the idea of expanding the water district to add water to the county site. Just for some background, right now we have 2 users in that district, or 3.
We
Two.
lost the third, we just broke down the third.
Yeah, so, you know, it would be beneficial to have a 3rd user in that district.
Mhm.
And so, it helps the town, it helps the county, and, they wouldn't be treated differently than any other group that was being added to a water district. You know, they pay the costs. Right, just like when, we added this to the water district. We had to pay all the costs and run the lines and everything else, and they would be doing the same thing, so that they would, you know, pay for the attorney and everything else. So it's no different than anyone else.
Now, is this something where we have to let the people know who are in this area, like the people on Paradise?
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Because one of the
That's
things they talked about was being told if there were changes.
Yeah, and so I think we had that whole process with all the paperwork and everything else, and the maps and everything else was there. It would be, that's my preferred way, is to do it the same way that we were gonna do it with, when Wildberry Lodge is gonna be there, that it then allowed other people on Paradise to also connect.
Yeah.
Because the lines are running right by their house.
Right.
And so,
Mhm.
but I sent it back to the county and I said, well, our attorney said this is an option, and like, I would say, like, my motion would be, if everyone's in favor of going forward, I can work it out with the town's attorney and the county, you know, what's the best way?
Right.
But then it'll have to come back to us, and we have to then have an official vote on
Okay.
expanding the district and have a public hearing and everything else.
Okay.
I've been told the village is supportive of this as well,
Okay,
so,
great.
just, you know,
Mhm.
motion to, if is everyone in favor of expanding the district and adding water?
I'm abstaining as a county employee.
Mhm.
And so if so, you know, I'll just work with Joe and try to come up with the way that he recommends.
That would be great.
So I don't think we have to vote on anything. We just have to, I just want to make sure
Have
everyone knew where we were going.
Okay.
But, you know, is everyone in support of doing this? So like then at least the county has an idea that like we want to move
Yes.
forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Motion to approve and sign the 2023-2024 fire protection contract with the village.
Second with a question.
Yes,
I just want to understand, I know that the village received some state funding, which is great, from Senator Hinchy related to emergency services. I just didn't know if you had any information on kind of the breakdown of.
yeah, I talked to the mayor about that.
Yeah.
He explained it all, where that money, that goes into a reserve fund. That we, if to buy trucks in the future.
Gotcha.
And so we both benefit by that, you know, so I think there's $300,000, and if I remember the math correctly, say 100,000 is going into that reserve fund. That is $100,000 that we don't have to come up with 54, and the village doesn't have to come up with 54 when there's a truck purchased.
Okay.
So it's split evenly between both. So I questioned the same thing, because I asked, like, I was wondering, will the contract change because now we got the money?
Yeah.
But because we never know if we're gonna get the money every year, it goes into a separate reserve fund.
Gotcha.
That,
This is, sorry.
Go ahead.
This isn't related to ambulance at all. This is not
this isn't.
the grant didn't cover.
Yes, they did. I think some of that, I forget the exact, we talked about it and I forget the exact amount that they're contributing. They're giving some money to the ambulance
Right.
out of Senator
That's
Hinchy's.
what Matt had said, that they were because they were put into the grant for
Yeah,
a certain amount.
they were put in, and I
Yeah.
forget the exact amount, but I think
Yeah,
it's,
because they like really need one more. I guess in their fleet, they have a lot of very old with lots and lots of mileage on it, so they were really looking forward to at least update one. A new one, so that they, could have one that they could count on if any of the other ones, like you said, a reserve, really. Well, more than a reserve, a new, because all of the rest of their fleet has so much mileage on it. So we're trying to figure out how to get some of the money from the grant and then some other fundraising.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
all in favor?
All right.
All right.
Um. So motion to authorize the release of enclosed escrow TB 21-02 New Paltz Storage. District extension in the amount of 2,500. They decided not to, they withdrew the project and no work was done on it before, so there is no expenses, so we're just releasing the escrow. So that's not, they're not gonna add that property to the water district.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And same motion to authorize the release and close the bond held CB 2101 New Paltz Storage, the LLC wetlands permit for the amount of $20,015.64. They completed the project and it's, escrow's all clear. They don't owe any more money.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so 13, the single hauler bid is coming, the first round is ending. We've gotten the bids back. I've attached them. The low bid was County Waste. And if Village has approved County Waste as the single hauler, just for some background there, I kind of did a little bit of research, and if you look at the other towns surrounding us, what they're paying for waste right now, it ranges, I've been told, $38 to $45 a month. Versus the low bid for County Waste, which is $30 to $31.50 a month. So people are saving money by us moving forward with the single hauler.
How much?
Anywhere from other towns are paying surrounding towns.
What are they, what are people currently paying in New Paltz?
I think it's about 30
Currently or on the new one?
on what's the current?
I think it's like 30.
right now.
I think it's a little over. It's like 34.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's like that after we added. the
Yeah.
weeds.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a little.
34.
It's like more like 34. Yeah.
Pretty good.
It was like.
I remember years ago, I was paying 50 for County Waste, oddly.
Yeah, so people will pay less, and there'll also be fewer trucks on the road. I think especially when, my kids are waiting for the bus and they're running out in the bus and the trucks are backing up and pulling around. Now it happens one day a week instead of every day. So I think it's safer.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cheaper. So I in favor of accepting the low bid from County Waste.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll say one more quick thing. I think it was Chris.
31.46. It's 31.46.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
I think it was Chris Marks who said, that a garbage truck is the equivalent of like 10,000 cars passing, which is a shocking statistic. He's nodding yes. So one garbage truck passing over a road, and our roads cost a lot,
Yeah,
a lot.
I don't, so we're not gonna see short-term savings with that. It's not like the roads are suddenly gonna be healed, but.
But it's gotta help.
Do we get points for that? That's actually, yeah.
It could be,
Potential, I think.
it could be, 'cause that's,
That's the kind of,
She said
the
less.
kind of
that's green.
communication that would be really helpful.
Yes.
And I'll work on it.
And so motion to authorize the town of New Paltz Highway Department to advertise for a mechanic at the union rate.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve resolution contributing to the capital reserve fund to finance a type of capital improvement or equipment SSA Fund Sewer 002.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve resolution contributing to the capital reserve fund to finance a type of capital improvement project or equipment. SWA Fund Water 002 contributing to the capital reserve fund to finance a type of capital improvement or equipment. SWA Fund Water 002.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to go out for the annual cleaning service. Authorize the town of New Paltz Highway Department to go out to bid for our annual cleaning service.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And
Does that mean it's an annual cleaning, like a one?
no, it's this is the person that
The
cleans the
contract.
buildings.
For the year.
Contract.
The
It's for the
contract is
year.
up, and so we're gonna put it out for an annual contract.
So we're just looking for the.
Just bids.
Just bids.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years. Thought we would
That's great.
advertise, see what we
Yeah.
get. And the contract's over anyway, so.
Great.
Motion to authorize the renewal of DocuWare from June 1st, 2023 to May 31st, 2024 in the amount of $3,213 plus applicable taxes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So 19 is, we got a $500,000 grant from the county for using their ARPA funds for sewer 6.
Mhm.
And so we're working with our engineer on that, and this is a motion to allow us to sign the contract with the county to receive the grant and start moving forward on that. And so motion to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract for the ARPA funds from Ulster County to support interconnect, and the grant is to, the long-term plan is to get rid of sewer 6, build a pump station and pump it to the village. I've emailed back and forth, with the mayor, they're in support of this. It's, we have some problems with sewer 6. I was there the other day and I had to wash my clothes when I came home. And it needs work.
Yeah.
And this is hopefully Ted's working on it, the engineering firm, and hopefully we can also get a grant.
So this will be a solution to having that
This will be a solution.
solution.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, so motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the contract with the county.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
And so, next one, 20 is motion to authorize the hiring of a temp worker through Ethan Allen Staffing for the building department as secretary account clerk. Just so from background, we've been looking for someone for this for a long time. There's no one on civil service. We've advertised on Indeed. We need someone there. We have a single person in the building department now, and he's overwhelmed. And he's trying to do everything, and we're not providing the services, and this is the busy time. And so we just need to get someone in there.
Can this time start right away?
Yes,
Oh, great. Okay.
yeah, and they have the skill set, and at least it frees him up. Not doing the paperwork, he can go out and actually do what we need him to do and do the inspections. So, and then hopefully we can hire some more people. So,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
And motion to accept the resignation of Daniel Wasilowitz as MEO with the Town of New Paltz Highway Department effective April 7th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the May warrant of $534,356.38.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we're leaving the public hearing open.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Did we miss one here? So, the ADU law.
Yeah.
Where is that in here?
I don't think that was on the agenda.
Okay, so I would like to send it to the county planning board
Mhm.
and the town planning board. While we leave the public hearing open.
Yeah.
And so it kind of keeps the process moving along.
Right.
And because it's going to take about a month for them to review it and get back with us. And so we'll just leave the public hearing open here. People make comments, but then when we get it back, hopefully we've had the public hearing open long enough, we can close it and then we can move forward on it. And make the changes.
That sounds great.
Sounds good.
Great.
So I'd like to make a motion to send the accessory dwelling unit law to the county planning board and the town planning.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, glad I remembered that. So I think we're good to go. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.